Hello and welcome back again, bots and bits fans, to another segment of Today we're taking a look at the pocket toys.
Look at my head out of pocket.
TS-03 Defender. They're 1-to-1 of the Iron Factory Bridge Watcher. They were only recently reviewed MFT's OS of this guy, so this is going to be more of a bite-sized review. And there's just a quick comparison for you guys while I got him out. Alrighty, moving on, and let's look down and check out his accessories quickly first. As you can see, you don't really get much. You get a nifty little collector card. His clear hands, they're more of a dark pink than purple. They look pretty good. We'll clip one of them off and try them in a sec. And you get cardboard instructions. It's just unfold. And they pretty much look exactly the same as the Mechfans Toys ones, so even down to the little description here about the knee joint. Anyway, that's them. Back up here, quickly check out the box. It is very, very tiny. Got some artwork there on the front, picture on the back, pictures on the back, and that's it. Now the hands are exactly the same as the Iron Factory and the Mechfans Toys ones. So we're just going to, which hand is this? This one. Yeah, that one. Clip that off, twist that out, just support the bottom of this wrist bit, otherwise it just folds straight in, and just push your hand. I've used the wrong bloody hand, hang on. What a dickhead. Alrighty. There we go, that's better. Well, that looks pretty good, I like it. I like the colour of it. It's in there quite snugly as well. So the paint and finish on this is actually, you know, it's pretty good considering the cost. I think this is like maybe $15 Australian, maybe 20. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to double check that. But it's really, really inexpensive, and the build quality seems alright. A lot of these joints are really nice and stiff, especially that shoulder joint going up is nice and stiff. That ball socket, nice and stiff. The elbows, just like on the Mechfans Toys, are really stiff. I'd probably want to give that screw just a little bit of a loosen. Upper bicep swivel is nice. That peg hole is nice for the hands. The other side is actually a little bit stiffer. That hinge joint there is quite strong. Ball socket's good, bicep swivel's good, elbow is still really stiff. Again, I'll probably loosen that one as well. Waist swivel is impeded by the transformation. If you just untab this back section here, you can get a bit of shake. Hips do have the flaps that come out just slightly. On ball sockets, they're nice and stiff. They're not really floppy, a little bit. But again, like with the Mechfans Toys, if you just get his toes positioned right, maybe not. Oh, there we go. So, holds really well. Upper thigh swivel is nice and stiff. That's really good. The double jointed knee, this hinge here is nice and tight. So when you fold all this in, the knee, you can see here, is bending where it's meant to. And I really dig that, because on the, well, I got it here actually. On the Mechfans Toys, right, that knee joint was quite stiff and that one wasn't. So when you bend the knee, it's actually bending at the transformation hinge. This one down the bottom here, see, like that. And see, the knee itself isn't actually moving, but if you check out the pocket toys, it's bending at the knee every time perfectly. So that's a good plus in my opinion. Toes are nice and stiff. You do have the second hinge here. That's for transformation, but you know, use it for whatever. They are nice and stiff. The heel spurs are nice and stiff. Now something on this guy that I really appreciate that wasn't on the Mechfans Toys is, see the heel spur, when it's folded in, you just got this little nub. Can I focus please? Just got a little nub right there just to get your nail on and just lever it out. On the Mechfans Toys, right, there is no little nub there. So when that's all the way in, that's like you push on it, but you still got to sort of jam your fingers in there. And I always use I just use whatever dental tool I have laying around and give it a flick out. Not that I transform this guy back and forward very much, but that's just a minor thing that I noticed that is a plus for the pocket toys. And lastly, head is on a ball socket, and that is nice and stiff as well. It's still light piped. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. A little bit, see that? It's light piped out the top, as well, which is really handy. So I do get a little bit of light going through there. Now, like with Iron Factory and Mechfans Toys, this chest section here is entirely made of clear plastic, and they've painted purple over the top of it. And they have done, let's just see if I can focus in there. They've done a pretty good job of it. I can't, one little chip just on the side here, nothing on top, nothing down the bottom, and no like frayed or scratches or anything on the hinge here after transforming it a couple of times. So that's good. This is all done pretty well. There's a slight color difference between the paint and the plastic, but it's negligible. Paint on the face is nice. It's more of a gunmetal sort of thing. So inside there, it's a little bit powdery, but it's all within the lines and it's all done consistently. The ears painted really well, and we don't have any gross mold lines, nothing, no flash, nothing like that. Very, very tidy. This is like gunmetal plastic just in here, and I'm pretty sure that the thighs and the hips are pigmented plastic as well. I'm seeing a little bit of swirling just in here, and that looks inside the plastic. So I would say, yeah, there's more on the back there. That one's tidy, very tidy, but this thigh here is a little bit swirly. And the same with this back piece. It looks painted, but with the swirls you can see that it's actually pigmented plastic, which is better because it's not going to chip or anything. But when it comes to silvers and greys, as we know with like some of the Hasbro stuff, and especially in Masterpiece, it does tend to swirl. But yeah, the finish on this is pretty damn good. Like I have mentioned, there are some swirls in some of the panels and that, but if you're up here, you'll see it. If you're playing with it, or you got it on a shelf with your other Legends, I think it's small enough that it doesn't matter. You don't see it, so I'm not going to take too much away from it. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I really liked the Mechfans Toys. I thought that was very cool. I really like this design, to be honest. It's a really cool, really beefy, badass Shockwave. I really like the design. Hang on, just need a quick break. Alright, let's continue on. Alright, so a couple of quick comparisons before moving on. Here he is with a couple of the other Iron Factory bots. Scales pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. Iron Factory sticking to their own scale, of course. There he is with Bruticus, who is one impressive Legends bot, I tell you, look at that. And we'll just bring in Hot Soldier's Soundwave. I think a lot of people were right into this guy. There is Hot Soldier Soundwave. A little bit big. Hot Soldiers and Mechfans Toys are like that, so it's more MFT scale than Iron Factory, of course. And that's it. Now, I'm not going to cover the transformation of this. It is exactly the same as the Mechfans Toys, exactly the same as Iron Factory. You can even fumble your way through this. You don't even need the instructions, so I'm going to skip it. Actually, one thing I will note about the transformation, I just thought of this while I was doing it, is unlike the Mechfans Toys, which had really pliable sort of joints in the knees, the Pocket Toys has the same stiff hinge joints like Iron Factory, so it can be a little bit difficult to get the knee in. So what you want to do is you need to bend this hinge all the way back, like that, right? But keeping this knee hinge here straight. So you bend it all the way back, and then when you go to fold it in, keep the leg straight and push down, and it will fold this back hinge in on itself, and the leg will just collapse without any issue. Alright, and there he is in his blaster mode, and yeah, looks good. It's a good design. Transformed really well. The original Iron Factory engineers did a really good job of this, I think. There he is with the Mechfans Toys. Quite a large difference, as you'd expect, this being oversized. Yeah. When it comes to the Iron Factory bots, it's still a bit big for a lot of them. Like if I bring in the Iron Factory Bruticus, it's a big boy considering. Yeah, probably still too big. Like I'm not even sure if he'll even really. No, I can't get his fingers around it. I think that the Shockwave that you get with him is much better. So yeah, if you're after a knockoff Iron Factory, he's pretty good. He's good. Alright, it's not the right size for me. I'm sticking with the Mechfans Toys because that's going to go on my Jinbao oversized Bruticus. But for the Iron Factory collectors and Legend Scales collectors, this is good. So is it worth it, and should you buy it? I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say this is a great value for money. The paint is done pretty well, what little of it there is. The joints are all nice and tight. The transformation is really good. There was some swirling in the gunmetal pigment in the grey plastics, but that is pretty much the only fault I can come up with this guy. The clear plastics are good. They're not too transparent, so they seem pretty strong. Light piping still works great. Transformation was easy. Gun mode holds together really well. There's nothing loose. There's nothing too tight, you know. It's good. If you're collecting Iron Factory scale stuff and you are considering getting this, I recommend you go out and get it. It's very cheap. It is pretty damn well made, easy to find. So yeah, go grab it. And that's it. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe to my channel. Remember to check out my Facebook for daily news and updates on KO and third-party stuff. I also have an Instagram account, #botsandbits, all one word. And as always, guys, thank you very much for your time and thanks for watching.